Jail overcrowding and a tight budget are just two key issues facing the man who's going to become the next Hamilton County Sheriff. Voters are choosing a new sheriff because Simon Lease is retiring after 25 years in that position. Two candidates are vying for voter support, both with law enforcement backgrounds, Republican Sean Donovan and Democrat Jim Neal. Neal spent 30 years as a deputy sheriff, handling assignments that included the Patrol Academy, Traffic Section, DARE, and the Bomb Squad. He retired as a lieutenant commander to run for sheriff and serves as a substitute teacher in the Three Rivers School District.
We all know that the Justice Center is overcrowded right now and that there's a catch and release program in place to help manage that numbers problem that they're having with the inmates. How do you maintain public safety while you're allowing these criminals back out on the street?
Good question, Kelly. I was a police officer for over 30 years with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, and I've effected many arrests, and it would be quite embarrassing to have an offender beat you back to territory. And my intention as Sheriff of Hamilton County is to stop the revolving doors. If someone was physically arrested, you don't know what efforts the officer went through in the apprehension process or what the victim went through as a victim of the offender. It's my job as the sheriff to hold persons that need to be confined until they see the judge in the morning. If I have to put cots in the gymnasium to hold offenders over to see the judge in the morning to face justice, I will.
I'm concerned about transparency. What assurances do we have that your staff will be held to the same standards as the general public?
Good question, Mr. Pitts. Transparency is very important. People need to know where you stand and where you're going to go as an organization. And open communication is so very important in networking, not just with the public, but with other agencies in the criminal justice system. So as the Sheriff of Hamilton County, I will be very transparent. The office will be very transparent, and communication will be open to both the public and the private sector as well. When we work together, greater things happen. Thank you.
The many local police departments in Hamilton County have worked together to provide public safety. We've done this through organizations such as the Hamilton County Association of Chiefs of Police. How will the Sheriff's Department, under your leadership, assist local departments and our organization in enhancing public safety?
Good question, Chief Simpson. As the Sheriff of Hamilton County, I will be back on board with the Hamilton County Police Association. We have too many duplications of services in Hamilton County, and with our economic conditions, it's about time that the agencies work together. We will benefit with sharing resources, including human resources, but more importantly, the people of Hamilton County will benefit when their agencies are working together. Thank you.
We all know there's a problem with drugs in Hamilton County. How willing are you to aggressively pursue traffickers, dealers, and users for the safety of our children and our neighborhoods?
In Hamilton County, all the communities contribute to the Sheriff's General Fund, and all the communities in Hamilton County are therefore entitled to the services of the Sheriff's Department. As Sheriff of Hamilton County, I will be in a cooperative effort working with all agencies in Hamilton County to combat the problems we have with drugs and other crimes, including sharing of resources such as our organized crime unit and our regional enforcement narcotics unit. We can, with the sharing of resources and working together in a team concept, would be a more appropriate way of handling the problems we currently have in Hamilton County. Thank you.
Green Township, as well as other townships, depend on the sheriff's road patrols to keep the public safe. In lieu of the tight budgets, what do you propose to do to continue on with this program?
Larry, all residents that own property in Hamilton County contribute to the county's general fund through our property taxes. I will continue to find the dime in our budget to keep the county cars out in the Hamilton County areas. And even if I can, even with a reduced budget, we can provide the same amount of services, and why not even be positive and think about the idea of even growing services. Currently, if we have 65 county cars, what's to say why can't we have 70 county cars? We'll see what the budget provides. I'm calling for an independent, unbiased fiscal and operational audit of the sheriff's budget. And with that said, my intentions are not only to maintain the same services, but to grow services. Thank you.
If you're elected sheriff, describe how your management style would differ from the way the sheriff's office has been run in the past.
As Sheriff Claudia, I have a lot of practical experience. I learned this job from the ground up. As a leader of this organization, I will lead the sheriff's office as a law enforcement professional, not a politician. I will use the politics to get elected, but my formal education, my relevant training, and on-the-job education, as well as my experience, is going to guide me in my leadership. Leadership is doing the right things. I can lead from the field, not from the sidelines. Thank you.
I'm a former 7th and 8th grade teacher. I know parents have always been concerned about cybercrime, sexting. I'm wondering what you can do to step up enforcement without trampling on people's civil liberties.
John, we currently have a computer task force, computers crimes task force, and I have no intention of disbanding the unit. And with the technology revolution that we have, if anything, to grow our services in that area. That's a very good question and very relevant to today's times. And we have to stay current with the technology and stay current with our enforcement of crimes utilizing this technology. Good question, sir.
If you're elected Hamilton County Sheriff, how would you train your deputies to treat victims of crimes and their families when they come in contact with them?
Good question, Peggy. Education and training is so important, not only for the officer's sake, because it gives them the confidence they need to do their job, but when your officers are trained and educated, also the community has confidence in their service providers. So as Sheriff of Hamilton County, I will be instituting, exceeding the minimum standards for training and education of our officers, and will continue to do so through my term as sheriff. Thank you.
Labor costs are typically the largest expense of any public employee organization. In 2011, Ohio voters rejected Senate Bill 5, which was legislation designed to help control labor costs in public employee organizations. How will you as sheriff control your costs now that we do have these mandated employment contracts to live with, while at the same time keeping up with the statutory duties of the sheriff's office?
Dan, as far as labor, I want to end the abusive double dipping that is currently embedded not just in the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office but other county agencies. Also, a lot of the fat in our organization would be in administration. Those dollars can be utilized and better served investing in our front line, our service providers, the men and women day in and day out that answer your calls for service. Thank you.
What is the #1 most pressing issue facing the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, and what will be your first step to address this issue?
Susan, what's pressing right now as far as issues with the Sheriff's Office is the budget. And as I stipulated in the past, and I will articulate today, we need a full, unbiased, independent, fiscal and operational audit of the Sheriff's Office. And what I mean by operational is also an audit of our programs to make sure that they're satisfactorily meeting the results that we articulated and meeting your needs as citizens of Hamilton County. Due to our economic conditions, our funding has been reduced significantly. We had at one time a $79 million budget. Our projected budget for 2013 is going to be in the neighborhood between 52 and 54 million. Our organization was currently in existence was structured based on a $79 million budget. We can no longer afford to maintain the current structure of the Sheriff's Office. We're going to have to consolidate services to be more efficient and effective. And we're going to have to also cut fat, eliminate wasteful areas, and also eliminate duplication of services. Thank you. Hello, I'm Jim Neal. I'm candidate for sheriff in Hamilton County in the upcoming general election. Why you should vote for Jim Neal for sheriff? I learned the job from the ground up. I worked in the jail. I worked on patrols. I retired a lieutenant commander. I attended the University of Cincinnati. I have a master's degree. I earned a master's degree in urban police management and corrections management. As a deputy sheriff, I have over 4,000 hours of relative training and education and over 30 years of experience. My career has prepared me to be the next sheriff of Hamilton County. I will be the leader that can lead from the field, not the sidelines. I've tracked, I've pursued, I've arrested criminal offenders. I was a decorated officer. I was Police Officer of the Year in Hamilton County in 1988. I have a proven record. I've been dedicated and loyal to the office and to the people of Hamilton County. I feel I am the candidate that is qualified to be the next sheriff of Hamilton County. Thank you.
By now, Ohio residents should have received in the mail an application for early voting. Just fill out the form, send it in, and you're going to get a return ballot by mail that allows you to vote in the comfort of your own home. Tom McKee, 9 News, downtown.